Sorry, young lady, I'm about to close.
I'm just here to pick up the raffle tickets you printed for Mrs. O'Shea.
So where's my 19-inch largemouth bass?
I haven't caught it yet.
And I haven't printed those raffle tickets yet. What a coincidence.
I get the picture.
Let's see what you got in there. How about that? You did it. Here, let me take it from you.
Please do. I think it's starting to get a little ripe.
You catch that fish yet?
Right here.
Let's see. So where's my 19-inch largemouth bass?
Oops, I forgot. Bye.
Aw, darn it. I did tell her I'd have those done today, didn't I? Well, I'm sorry, but they're just gonna have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh, but I need to have them today.
And I need to go fishing.
Fishing?
My brother-in-law thinks he's hot stuff because he caught an 18-inch largemouth bass this morning. So I bet him I could catch a 19-incher by the end of the day. And if I do, I get his stamp collection. And if I don't, he gets mine. And since stamp collecting is about the only hobby I can afford these days, I am going fishing.
I know. You stay here and print those raffle tickets, and I'll go fishing for you.
Not everybody can catch a 19-inch largemouth bass, you know. It takes skill and muscle and brains. Bass are pretty smart.
I can do it, Mr. Phelps.
You better be right, because you're not getting those raffle tickets until I get my 19-incher. You can use my gear. I left everything out at the fishing hole.
Great. I'll see you later.
Just rest yourself a minute while I get those raffle tickets. There you go. 10 dozen tickets to the annual Orphans Benefit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go make a telephone call.
To your brother-in-law?
Yeah, the one who used to collect stamps.
Bye.
Why, that's no bass, it's a catfish. I'll take care of it. You just go on back out there and get me that 19-inch largemouth bass. Why, that's no bass, it's a catfish. That's not a bass, it's a red ear. I'll take care of it. You just go on back out there and get me that 19-inch largemouth bass. That's not a bass, it's a red ear. You got a yellow perch in there, not a bass. I'll take care of it. You just go on back out there and get me that 19-inch largemouth bass. You got a yellow perch in there, not a bass. Close, but that's a smallmouth bass, not a largemouth. I'll take care of it. Now go back out there and get me that 19-inch largemouth bass. Close, but that's a smallmouth bass. That's not a bass, that's a walleye. I'll take care of it. Now get out to that fishing hole and get me a 19-inch largemouth bass. That's not a bass, that's a walleye.
Hello, are you Mr. Waddell?
So what if I am?
Hello, Mr. Waddell.
You still want that key?
Hello, Mr. Waddell.
Now what?
Hello, Mr. Waddell. Are you done making that blank?
I need more time. Now quit bothering me so I can work.
Hello, Mr. Waddell. Are you done making that blank?
Have you got my fee? What do you want?
Nothing, really.
Then scram.
Hello?
Need something?
No, I'm just looking around.
Well, look around somewhere else. Some people in this town work for a living. What? Waddell Jewelry?
Hello, I found this receipt for an appraisal you did, and I wondered if you could tell me...
Look, I'm busy. If you got something important to tell me, then prove it by getting off your lazy bum and coming down here and telling me eyeball to eyeball. You hear me?
Yeah?
Then repeat after me.
I found this receipt, and I just wondered what you could tell me about it.
Let me see that. One key, determine resale value, item 493. Oh, yeah. This was for that key Jim Archer wanted me to appraise.
Jim Archer wanted you to appraise a key?
It was very ornate, had jewels all over it. Fake jewels, as it turned out. When I told him it was worthless, the cheapskate refused to pay me and told me to keep it.
Do you think I could have it?
Sure. once you pay the appraisal fee.
Which is...
$1.50. Good. Here's the key. Enjoy.
But I don't have $1.50.
If you want the key, that's what you have to pay me. Simple as that. Good day.
Yes.
Do you have $1.50?
No, I have a telegram for you.
Let's have it. Thanks. Sorry I can't tip you. I'm out of change.
That's all right. Bye. I need for you to cut a blank from this piece of quartz.
No big deal. Let's see it.
The blank needs to be just like the one you made before for Josiah Crowley.
Like I said, no big deal. You're gonna have to cough up $2, though. You can pay me when you pick it up. Good. Here's the blank I cut for you.
Mr. Waddell, did you by any chance cut a blank recently for Josiah Crowley?
No! Now quit bothering me so I can work. Thanks.
Say, did you by any chance cut a blank recently for Josiah Crowley?
No! Now quit bothering me so I can work.
Mr. Topham?
Yes, Mrs. Deckman?
Is it okay if I blink?
Yes, it's okay if you blink. Just keep focusing. Your eyes, your thoughts, focus.
Should I concentrate on the top edge or the bottom edge?
Either one, Mrs. Deckman. Just concentrate.
Mr. Topham?
Yes, Mrs. Deckman?
Am I trying to push it or pull it?
Push it. You're trying to push it, all right?
I'd rather try to pull it.
All right, then. Try to pull it.
I'm good at pulling things.
Mrs. Deckman, shh. Just concentrate.
What does it mean if I'm starting to get a headache?
It means you're doing too much talking and not enough concentrating. Just keep looking down that tube at that one spot. Pretend your thoughts are a hurricane, whirling around that one spot, grabbing it, dragging it towards you.
This is hard, Mr. Topham.
You can do it, Mrs. Deckman. Ow! Mrs. Deckman, please!
It moved, Mr. Topham. I saw it. I moved the spoon. I really did.
And you very nearly deafened me in the process. Now please calm down.
But I did it. I finally did it. You saw it move too, didn't you?
Yes, of course, I most certainly did. Congratulations. Now that you've seen the power lying fallow within your brain, it's your duty to nurture it. In fact, I believe it's time for you to begin daily training sessions.
This is wonderful. I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Topham. You're a genius.
Yes, well, be that as it may, this is just the beginning, Mrs. Deckman. This will, of course, necessitate an increase in your tuition. But I'm sure once your husband learns of today's breakthrough...
Oh, Mr. Topham, do you really think so?
Indeed I do.
I'm going to go right home and call him, and after supper I'll give him a demonstration. Do you think I could try moving a knife?
Stick to spoons for now, Mrs. Deckman. Very small spoons. One must walk before one can run, don't forget.
Are you Mrs. Sheldon?
I am.
I have a telegram for you. Mrs. Sheldon?
Yes?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Emily Crandall's.
Did you go to Titusville Telco and get my bridge cards from Mr. Kowski?
Well, no, but
Do you have my bridge cards?
right here. Hello, Mrs. Sheldon. I have a telegram for you. I have another telegram for you.
Do you have my bridge cards?
Well, no, but
How absolutely delightful. Get on with it, dear.
I was wondering, would it be possible for me to see the trivet you borrowed from Josiah Crowley?
You may not only see it, you may have it. Once I find it, that is. Unfortunately, I've an errand to run, so I can't look for it right now.
Maybe I could run the errand for you. I have a car.
So I see. Rather expensive car at that. Very well, Miss Drew. Go fetch my bridge cards from Miss Drakowski, and upon your return I shall present you with that trivet.
Who's Miss Jakowski?
The local telephone operator. You can find her at her house, or Titusville Telco, as she insists on calling it. The switchboard is in her parlor. As you can imagine, she never entertains. I, on the other hand, am expecting company within the hour, so do hurry. Good. And here is Josiah's trivet. I didn't realize when I asked to borrow it that it was such an eyesore. But once a sumptuous dish of my buff stroganoff was placed atop it, I assure you, no one noticed. Now do run along. My guest will be arriving any minute, and that dress of yours, it's, well, wonderful.
How nice of you to drop by, and thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road. Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem? So, you have the solution to that logic problem? Now what? Ready to resume our telepathy experiment? If one is to teach others how to develop and use their paranormal gifts, it's only logical that one must possess such gifts oneself. Richard Topham at your service. The paranormal includes telepathy or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects. I was in the process of trying to make these spoons move by using nothing but my own psychic energy. Have you ever focused sunlight through a magnifying glass until it was a minute yet searing point of light, Miss Drew? You see, that's what I do with my cerebral emanations, my thoughts. I focus them until they're a beam of pure energy which ultimately disrupts and transforms the molecular force field surrounding the target object. Yes. Well, on occasion. As I tell my students, increasing one's rate of success is simply a matter of practice. Oh, indeed. I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. To some degree, yes. The goal of the Topham School for the Study and Development of Paranormal Powers is to enable students to make the most of whatever gifts they have. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today. Oh, I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady, far too busy to engage in idle conversation. I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine. Good luck and good day. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Sorry. Unless and until you solve the problem correctly, we cannot speak. Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, he insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew. Oh, I know rumor has it that I somehow tricked him into it, that I insinuated my way into his home, but I assure you that was not the case. The best. He had his annoying little habits, but his desire to realize his psychic potential was unparalleled. Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer, people who were nice to him only because they knew he had money. Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house. Josiah was a man of many, many interests. I'll be right here if you have any questions.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house. That was Josiah's workshop. I assume it contains even more detritus.
Do you mind if I look around some more?
Be my guest. Be my guest.
Is it okay if I look around?
Certainly. Marcel was what Josiah called his favorite hat.
I'm going to poke around some more, if that's okay.
I don't mind.
You don't mind if I look around, do you?
Go right ahead. He loved that hat, so to him naming it made perfect sense. You must be talking about that chunk of quartz that came last winter. I still have it right here. Why? Perhaps we can work something out. You see, amazing as this is going to sound, I am able to project my thoughts into another person's brain. The only problem is, not everyone has the intellectual capacity to receive my thoughts. But since you have already demonstrated a high level of intelligence, yes, you may very well be the ideal subject. You are going to help me prove that I am telepathic. Here's what we're going to do. Well, you failed to correctly identify 5 in a row. Shall we continue? Well, actually, I did it. But in any case, thank you for your assistance. Yes? Do you need anything else? Josiah no doubt lost it. He had a terrible memory, poor fellow. No, as a matter of fact, I gave that hat to Gloria Crandall. She said she was fond of the old fellow and wanted something to remember him by, although I suspect the real reason she wanted that hat was to see if he'd stashed any money in it. No doubt it's filled with the same thing as this house. Junk. But if it's junk, why haven't I gotten rid of it, you may well ask. What's the point? The game that's in the parlor of the Lilac Inn? Never. Such frivolities are an inexcusable waste of cerebral energy. Young lady, I've never set foot on that golf course, let alone made whatever par is. I haven't the foggiest. Probably. But I have no idea who it was. I heard the explosion and fire. Ruined my 9 o'clock session. Pupil. I was with a pupil. I run a school, not a vegetable stand, and yes, I was. Until I dismissed her 20 minutes early. All the ruckus made concentration impossible. That's a shame. I rather like waking up to the odor of fresh-baked pies, and I rather like Emily Crandall, although I doubt the feeling is mutual. Very well as far as I'm concerned, but as far as they're concerned, well, not anymore. You see, the fact that Josiah left everything to me made some people around here, including Emily and now this Jane Willoughby, very bitter. It hurts me, of course, but it's human nature, I suppose. I get along with everyone. Well, at least I did. You see, well, since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about? Well, I know it's silly to hang on to Josiah's things, but he was a wonderful man, you see, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. Too sentimental for my own good, I guess. No. Why? It's a very old copy. I'd rather it not be handled unnecessarily, lest it fall completely apart. I'm sorry, Miss Drew, but request denied. I'm sure it was. The feeling is almost mutual. I knew you were going to say that. A little psychic humor. Good day. Drop by any time. What in blazes are you doing? Sneaking around in here like a common thief? Interrupting one of my sessions? I knew there was something unsavory about your phantasmic pulsations. Well, soon they will no longer be my problem, but the sheriff's. I'm afraid that fire today was as unfortunate for me as it was for Miss Crandall.
Who's this?
That's Josiah wearing his favorite hat. You may come in. Just close the door behind you, please.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's. Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers. Find the toy mouse yet? I believe it's by the table.
Yuri, be quiet. You're disturbing us. Yuri, be quiet. What's wrong with you? All right, Yuri, I'm coming out there. All right, Yuri, I'm coming out there.
The man on stage in this picture, is that Josiah?
Yes, that's from a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that he directed and starred in. It closed after 2 nights, but he didn't care. He loved that play. Did you say something?
No, just talking to myself. Sorry.
What on earth was that? Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Want some lunch? There you go, good kitty. No, no, Yuri, that's not a toy. Put it down. Good kitty. Spoons are not toys, remember? Why, that's wonderful, Mrs. Stratton. The spoon just flew right up off the table all by itself. Yes, I'm sure your mother-in-law was surprised.
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. As you'll soon realize, Josiah's mental faculties were starting to go, I'm afraid. He tended to ramble. Very little of what he wrote in there makes sense. Let's have a look.
Believe me, Mr. Fry, it would be a mistake to end your sessions now. Why, your emanations have grown so strong, I can feel them through the phone.
Stay out of there, please. There's nothing of interest in there. Please don't go in there. That room is off limits, I'm afraid. Go right ahead. I don't mind. Certainly. Hello, Miss Drew. Do you mind? Excuse me. May I help you? I'm going to shuffle a deck which contains 5 sets of these cards. Then I'm going to turn my back, draw a card, look at it, and start transmitting my thoughts. When you receive my thoughts, you will identify the card I'm looking at. Once you correctly identify 5 cards in a row, I'll give you that piece of quartz.
But what if I can't do it?
Just stay focused on the cards and my superior brain power will do the rest. Very well, let's begin. What card am I looking at? What card am I holding? What card is this? What card am I concentrating on? What card am I thinking about? Do you know what card I'm looking at? Tell me, what card is this? Can you tell me what card this is? Which card am I thinking of? This is which card? Excellent. Here's another. Wonderful. Here's another. Very good. Here's another. Very good. Marvelous. Here's another. You go, girl. Here's another. Yes. Here's another. Incorrect. You must focus. Here's another. Wrong. Here's another. That's not right. Here's another. No, try again. Wrong. Very good. You did it. Here's the piece of crystal that Josiah ordered. Take it. You've earned it. Well, actually, I earned it, but let's not quibble.
What do you do with these?
I put them on the windshields of cars parked in the area. Great advertising.
Ever put them on cars at the Lilac Inn?
All the time. I've gotten quite a few pupils that way.
Clear your mind of all thoughts. Think about nothing save that spoon. I want you to find the spot on the spoon in the middle where the handle arches up. And I want you to look at it. Really, really look at it.
Are you Mr. Johnson?
Maybe. Who are you?
Well, my name's Nancy Drew, and if you are Mr. Johnson, I've got a telegram for you. I've got another telegram for you, Mr. Johnson.
Hope this one's better news than the first one.
Hello.
Get off my property! Now! And take that infernal noise machine with you.
Fine, I'm going. Whatever you say. Yikes.
Well, thank you. Hey, you want a tip?
Sure.
Buy low, sell high.
Thanks, I'll remember that.
Hey, I got another tip for you.
You do?
When you got the wand and you're trying to light the forge, go down the slide.
Thanks. I'm sure someday that'll come in very handy.
Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest.
What?
Never mind. Fill her up. Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest. Fill her up.
No thanks. Bye.
Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest.
No offense, but that's kind of a silly slogan.
I know, my mother made it up. Want some gas? Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest. Fill her up. Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest.
What?
Never mind. Fill her up.
No thanks. Bye. No, actually, I have a telegram here for Pete Zimmerman.
That's me. I'd get you a tip, but my hands are all greasy.
That's all right. Bye. No, actually, I have a telegram here for Pete Zimmerman.
That's me. I'd get you a tip, but my hands are all greasy.
That's all right. Bye. No, I have another telegram for you.
Thanks. I wish I could tip you, but...
I know. Greasy hands. Bye. No, I have another telegram for you.
Thanks. I wish I could tip you, but...
I know. Greasy hands. Bye.
That'll be $5 for the tow and for filling your gas tank. That'll be $5 for the tow and for filling your gas tank.
That's a lot of money.
That'll be $5 for the tow and for filling your gas tank.
But I don't have $5.
You don't?
No.
Maybe from now on you'll pay more attention to how much gas you got. If you're gonna drive, you gotta be responsible.
You sound like my father.
Thank you. Drive zippily.
Yeah.
We got ourselves quite a conundrum here. Tell you what, that'll be $5 for the tow and for fixing your spare. I threw in a free fill-up. That'll be $5 for the tow and for fixing your spare. I threw in a free fill-up.
But I don't have $5.
You don't?
No.
That'll be $5 for the tow and for fixing your spare. I threw in a free fill-up.
I'd hardly call it free.
Did you say something?
I said, thank you for helping me.
Uh-oh, you know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, I know what it means.
You're welcome. Drive zippily.
Oh, I will.
That'll be $1. Thank you, miss. That'll be 25 cents. That'll be 50 cents. That'll be 75 cents. Drive zippily. You betcha. There you are. Good as new. That'll be $2. Anything else?
But I don't have $2.
You don't?
No.
Well, now that's a possibility, I suppose. Tell you what, I've got a whole drawer full of bolts and washers and such in there. You put 'em all away in the right bins, and we'll call it even.
You got a deal.
You can't leave until you're done. You can't leave yet. You're not done. You're not going anyplace. You're not through. You did it! You're free to go. Just remember, drive zippily. Sorry, you didn't do it right. You're gonna have to start over.
I have a telegram for Phil Connor.
I'm Phil. Thank you. I got a tip for you.
You're welcome. Bye. Hi, Mr. Connor. I have a telegram here for Dee Dee.
She's out back boxing up nails. I'll take it to her.
I am back. This time I have a telegram for Jurgis.
I'll take that for him.
Thank you. Bye. Hi, I need to deliver this telegram to Ona.
I'd better deliver that.
Guess what? Ona got another telegram.
Uh-oh. It's probably more bad news.
Hello.
You need some nails?
No, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Here.
Ow, that's a nail.
That's what we make here. Nails. Beauty, ain't she?
Thanks, but no thanks, Mr. Connor. Bye.
You change your mind about that tip?
Oh, that's okay. That nail you tried to give me before wasn't rusty, was it?
Let me check. Nope. Nice and shiny and sharp.
Good. Bye. Ow!
Oh, yeah. Dee Dee dropped a box of 2 pennies, so watch where you step. Which means you'd better leave that with me and...
Is that telegram delivery gal?
Run!
I'm out of here. Hello, Mr. Connor. Got another telegram for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Hi, Mr. Connor. Dee Dee's got another telegram.
I'll make sure she gets it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Is Jurgis available? I have a telegram for him.
Dee Dee had to run him to the county clinic. Nothing serious, just your typical puncture wound. You can leave that with me. Ona has a bad habit of blaming bad news on the messenger.
Oh, thanks for the warning. Bye.